Hi Daniel. If we start from the beginning of your score, and I'm looking right at the first page, the first thing I just want to point out from this last rehearsal is that you were so much more clear and so much more in charge of what you wanted the choir to accomplish via your hands and your face than I've ever seen you. I'm so happy that you have been able to make honestly what looks like huge leaps in such a short period of time. You're obviously looking at the score outside of rehearsal. You're obviously planning out what you want to do, and that's really, really helpful. And it shows, and it's great. First off, more than anything else, I want to applaud you for some really big changes. I also want to thank you for bearing with me. I could sense your irritation a little bit by the end of our time working together up at the front. And as somebody who spent 2 years having somebody working up front with me the whole time, yeah, I know it's tough. When there's another conductor up there, you're just like, go away, get out of my face. I want to do this. Um, it is beneficial, even if it's a pain in the butt. But what I noticed really that struck me as very, very helpful this time was purposeful releases and cutoffs. Maybe they weren't as clear as they need to be yet. Maybe they weren't on in the right spot, a couple of them, but you knew you wanted to do it and you were there for it. The other thing I noticed is I didn't get a single face out of you when something didn't go right. You're really good at, you're going through your pattern, and then, you get to a point and you maybe do this, and you're just like, oh, and you keep, you have to have that moment of, my pattern's off and I'm flustered. You didn't do that. Not this time. It was great. First page. Eternam. You need to decide what you want them to do with that num. Do you want m? Do you want m? Everybody else is doing m. So I would recommend tell them that. If you want to have it be eternam, you can do that. You hear the shadow schwa I'm putting at the end of that. Some people like that, some people don't. If you are giving us your entrance, it's the exact same thing I said to Janice. Give a nice big boom to the organ, and then go back to the choir. Here's why you don't need to conduct the organ in this case as much. You have a very, very accomplished pianist and a very accomplished organist who both worked with choirs. You do not have an orchestra, and you do not have a new to choral accompanying pianist. You don't need to give them as much information. When Dr. Schauer tells you to conduct the organ or conduct anything else, she's got two very important reasons for why she tells you to do that in class. Number one, you might be conducting an orchestra. And if that's the case, oh gosh, you've got to be on them completely. You've got a whole new ballpark to worry about. That's number one why she's telling you that. Number two, the reason why she's telling you that is because if you're going to be working in high schools, it's very unlikely that you're going to be working with an experienced accompanist. If you're lucky enough to have one at all, your accompanist is going to be somebody without very much experience. It may even actually be one of your students. So you need to be really, really clear with them. So that all being said, here's my next thought. I want you to focus on conducting the choir, and then I want you to think about moving on to how you want to shape the organ, how you want to shape what's happening. Dr. Campbell, who will be doing our organ, has performed this piece many times, and you are definitely going to feel that in his performance. So, let's see. If we're looking at the second page, I would love it if we can get some more shape. This is letter E, the Kyrie eleison, as we're going into the four parts divisi, the four-part divisi at bar 67. I want to see more gesture out of you. So right now we've got a nice pattern that's happening. So we get da da dum, and your box is about here. Let's get a bigger box and a smaller box. And you don't have to hunch to create the smaller box, because look what happens if I straighten up my shoulders. The box is in the same place. It feels like a low plane, but it's in the same place as it would be if I were hunching. I haven't touched my hands. I've just raised up my my stature to being my posture to being something that's going to help singers, because we all know singing like this isn't going to help anybody. Singing like this helps a lot. So you want to show that as a conductor too. So you have your letter E. You have your Kyrie, Kyrie. Now I think you got a release right there. So if you have that, so you have if the second Kyrie, Kyrie. You want to make sure that hand's not doing anything before it preps. That way they know it's coming in. When you get to 67, if you're here, Kyrie, see how the gesture grew, but the plane stayed about the same. That's about what you want to do. Nice job going over your breaths. I appreciate your thoroughness on this one. It would be a little bit more helpful to say, as I said in the rehearsal, just really quickly saying bar, randomly picking a bar, bar 70, son, take a lift at the end of it, move on to the next one. Even your oldest choir member should be able to pick that one up. Even if they're a little bit behind the times, they should be able to pick that up. You don't need to go over breaths again. You've done enough. If they don't breathe where you tell them to breathe, that's their fault, not yours. And you tell them, I told you to breathe there. Your sopranos at letter C are flat. Everybody's sopranos last night were flat. We were all flat together, in fact. I would definitely recommend that you go through and you make sure that they've got those nice long phrases. Don't think so much about breathing. Think about being there and supporting them. And be on their eyes all the time. Sopranos need that. They need extra support. Sopranos are the drama queens. They need support. Yes, I'm stereotyping. So, you have your Te decetim us in Sion, 2, 3. Another thing you may want to consider is how do you want to end those? Because Sion, you can show Sion. This, doing what your left-handed release is what you want their lips to do. Think of it as like a little puppet. So you have us in Sion, 2, 3. That's one way to do it. Try it, see what you come up with. Your exodes, nice dynamic contrast. Good job there. Make sure that all of your vowels are in the same place. Orationem. If you want that to be an O, you need to make sure your choir gives it to you, because right now you got O, you got all sorts of things happening. So, my computer just turned on. Ignore that. So, the next thing to think about is your ending. Eleison. Let it go on forever. 1. Eleison. 2, 3, 4. Now it's fermata. Hold. Make them stagger breathe. Make it happen forever. You can go holding it this way, going, I'm not going to let you go. I'm still here for you the whole time. Be nice and intense. I mean, staring into this camera right now, I can tell this probably looks really intense. Releasing it, bringing it back around, and release the sound. Remember that you are in charge. We hold that as long as you say it to hold that. The longer you hold it, the more mystery you get out of it, which matches your entire movement. I would say we need to work on getting flow from section to section. I would say that you need to work on getting some of those releases a little bit better. And I definitely need to see a little bit more shaping size-wise. So here's what I'd like you to think about for the clinician. I want you to think about, I'm going to work really hard on showing the shape I want. I'm going to get my face engaged. Eyebrows, you have them, use them, despite the glasses. I want to see you up with their eyes when you do your preps and entrances. If I'm doing this, this is letter E, okay? Bar before it, and I'm going, what happens? You're not there for them anymore. Be there for them. Always at the entrances and releases. You did a great job last night. Really looking forward to next week. I think you're going to have a good time. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.